The courtroom is designed to be a place of cold facts and rigid order, a sanctuary where the law is supposed to provide closure. But for many families, a prison sentence is a hollow consolation for a stolen life. When a grieving parent is forced to sit just feet away from the person who destroyed their world, especially when that person shows no remorse, the thin veil of order often snaps. These are the moments where the weight of the crime becomes too heavy for the courtroom to hold, leading to eruptions of raw, unbridled emotion that the cameras caught forever. One of the most chilling examples occurred in South Carolina during the trial of 19-year-old Lindy Jones. Jones was responsible for the murder of Willie Antoine Fields, an 18-year-old who was his parents' only child. In court, Angela Fields tried to articulate the void left in her life, but the pain proved too much for her husband, Willie Clay Fields. As he stood there, the reality of his son's absence hit him like a physical blow. He moved past the officers, lunging at the man who took his legacy, forcing bailiffs to intervene in a desperate scramble. Jones was eventually sentenced to 35 years, but the image of a father's broken heart remains the lasting memory of that trial. The tension only escalates when a defendant decides to taunt those they've hurt. In the case of Frank Deleon Jr., who shot his 16-year-old girlfriend Diamond Alvarez 22 times, the courtroom became a powder keg. As Diamond's mother delivered her victim impact statement, Deleon didn't bow his head in shame, he smirked. That one small, arrogant gesture triggered a massive brawl. Diamond's uncle charged the defense table, and even the mothers of the victim and the killer ended up in a physical altercation. It was a stark reminder that while the law seeks to be objective, human grief is anything but. Deleon eventually took a plea deal for 45 years, but only after his lack of respect nearly burned the courtroom down. Indifference can be just as provocative as a smirk, as seen in the trial of Tristan Laro. While Jason Wilson spoke about the murder of his sister, Misty, Laro appeared completely unconcerned, rocking back and forth in his chair as if he were bored. This blatant lack of remorse infuriated Wilson, leading to a tense confrontation that required immediate deputy intervention. A similar scene played out with serial killer Michael Madison in Ohio. Madison, who murdered 3 women and treated their bodies with unimaginable cruelty, actually laughed while a victim's father, Van Terry, was speaking. Van Terry didn't finish his sentence. He launched himself across the podium in an attempt to reach the man who found humor in his daughter's death. Perhaps the most haunting courtroom eruptions occur in cases of mass tragedy or systemic abuse. During the sentencing of white supremacist Peyton Gendron, the families of the 10 people he murdered in Buffalo were forced to face his hateful ideology. When Barbara Massey expressed her desire to physically harm him for what he did to her sister, a family member in the gallery acted on that impulse, charging at Gendron and forcing the court into a sudden recess. Similarly, in the case of Larry Nassar, the sheer number of victims made the atmosphere toxic. When Randall Margraves was denied 5 minutes alone with the man who abused his daughters, he took those minutes by force, charging the demon in a moment of paternal rage that resonated with millions of viewers worldwide. Ultimately, these cases show that the legal system often fails to account for the human soul. Whether it's a father seeking revenge for a murdered son or a brother defending the honor of a lost sister, these outbursts serve as a grim reminder of the lives behind the case numbers. While the defendants in these stories, from Quinn Bose to Dale Williams, all eventually faced their sentences, the scars they left on the families were so deep that no amount of jail time could ever truly keep the peace in the room.